International, national, and local news are all one and the same tonight for South Dakotans. Former Governor Kristi Noem, who has held one of the highest profile positions in Washington as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, will soon hold a new role.
Today, President Donald Trump announced on social media that Noem's time leading DHS is ending, with Senator Markwayne Mullin taking her spot. Noem, according to the president, will become a special envoy to the Shield of Americas. According to Trump, this is a Western Hemisphere security project.
Tonight, KELOLAND's Dan Centella brings us what political leaders have to say about Noem's ouster. Good evening, Dan.
Lauren, the change atop the Department of Homeland Security announced by the president today followed bipartisan criticism of Noem this week during testimony she gave. There are few names as big as hers in South Dakota politics, and I spent the afternoon gathering what different people had to say about today's big news. Back in 2018, current South Dakota Attorney General Marty Jackley was running for the Republican nomination in the state's gubernatorial race. Kristi Noem ended up beating him by 12,000 votes.
We had a primary. We had different ideas of leadership, different ideas of the direction the state would go. But after that primary, we were able to work together as state leaders, her as governor, me as attorney general.
Today, Jackley is running for South Dakota's only seat in the U.S. House. With regard to his thoughts on Noem's departure from her current role, Jackley deferred to the president and declined to give his own view of the announcement.
I think it's important to respect that cabinet positions serve at the pleasure of the president, and it was for the president to make those decisions, and I think we should respect that.
Jackley also said he wishes Noem the best. It's a cooler sentiment from Dan Allers, the executive director of the South Dakota Democratic Party, who was also running for governor.
I think this is just an example of what happens when you appoint someone to a very important position that really doesn't have the qualifications for it.
Allers and Noem served together as state lawmakers in Pierre. And when talking today about his former colleague's ouster, he shares what he wants to see going forward.
I really hope that as things move forward, that people really think about the rhetoric that they put out there, the dangerous words that they use to describe other people.
In his statement announcing Noem's new role, the president did praise her, stating that she, quote, has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border. South Dakota Governor Larry Roden was unavailable for an interview today, but his office pointed me to a social media post he did. U.S. Representative Dusty Johnson, who is now running for governor, also wasn't available for an interview, but his office did give me a statement. I also reached out to the other two GOP candidates in the gubernatorial race, John Hanson and Toby Doden. Now, they got back to me, but Doden posted on social media today in support of the man tapped to replace Noem. We're going to have links to the different statements in this report for you on our website.